Well, yet another school in Canada that's pushing the anti-oil agenda, the environmentalist agenda, on the students. Here's a novel thought, a novel idea. How about you keep your political crap out of the education system and let students learn in the manner they're supposed to, as in having critical thinking skills, rather than having an ideology or a political narrative jammed down their throats. If you want to put on a presentation like this, at the very least, if you want to show you're unbiased and are truly trying to educate the students, well, you better have someone in that classroom or a presentation that pushes back against this very lopsided narrative that seeks to paint people who work in the oil and gas sector as evil knuckle draggers who just want to destroy the environment and the entire planet. That narrative's already starting to backfire. And the more these teachers or these so-called thought leaders persist on hammering home at that one-sided narrative, the more devastating the backlash is going to be when some of these young people finally grow up and realize that they were duped and the earth isn't going to cease to exist in 8 years. Nor are we all going to die in such a short time frame. Like I say, once time comes to pass and these young people realize that they were sold a bill of goods that was not only fictional in nature, but they themselves are the ones that's going to pay the heaviest costs. Like I say, stay tuned for the backlash and retaliation. Headline out of CBC News, Saskatchewan, school division apologizes after Christmas concert deemed anti-oil. No political agenda, Board of Trustees chair says after parents raised concern about Thursday's concert. It's being reported by Morgan Wojcicki, December 22nd, 2019. A Saskatchewan school division has apologized after parents raised concerns a Christmas concert last week had an anti-oil agenda. On Thursday, the Oxbow Prairie Horizons School's annual concert featured a show titled Santa Goes Green. This didn't sit well with some audience members as Oxbow is a community where a good number of workers are in the mining and resource industries. In fact, the town's logo prominently contains a pump jack. Mike Gunderman, whose daughter was in the show, took to Facebook to express his concerns about the play, saying the concert was a kick in the groin to anyone working in the struggling oil industry. The post has since been shared more than 650 times. It wasn't even a Christmas concert at Christmas time, he said. It was blatantly just an anti-oil protest. Gunderman, who works in the oil and gas industry, said the community is a huge resource-based and agricultural town, and many in the area are employed as a direct or indirect result of the oil industry. It was just a bit of a shock, he said. Gunderman said the concerns raised were not directed at the children. He said they did a great job singing and performing, but he felt it was the wrong message to send at the wrong time of the season, especially when our industry is suffering right now, he said. It's a tough time for everyone. And I agree. Not just temporarily or in this particular time, but yes, there should not be any political intervention or politicizing of the Canadian economy in our education system. Or if you're going to do so, at least wait till the students are much older and do it in a politics or a political science class or something that has to do with politics in general. And then at the very least, give them multiple perspectives and opinions regarding the particular topic. Because if you're only given one side of the story or a narrative that leads to one particular side of the political spectrum, which it does today, there can't be no denial in regards to that fact, then all you're doing at the end of the day is you're indoctrinating the children. You're not educating them. And Canadians, I would expect, or I at least hope at this point in time, are sick and tired of their children, of their boys and girls, being inundated on a continual basis with these kind of political narratives or activism. Canadian taxpayers didn't sign up for sending their children off to school to be indoctrinated into a leftist ideological agenda. And I would just add, if you are a parent, you better start being more actively involved in your child's education, or at least find out what they're being taught these days, because it might shock and disturb you. It's Canadian Libertarian, and I love liberty.